Hi, I'm Hillary.
I'm Brenda.
And today we're going to talk about Opwdd's Respite. And we work at Rcal.
Respite is a program designed to give the caregiver, parent, guardian, whoever, a break from taking care of an individual with a disability. That can be as wide-ranging as a child with autism to a high schooler with some behavioral issues, all individuals who have applied for and received approval to get the respite services through Opwdd, the Office for Persons with Developmental Disabilities. Respite is a great program. It kind of wraps around school. Parents often use it when the children are off from school break. They're not in school. There's that 3-week break between the end of June and the beginning of July, and the middle of August and the beginning of September, where parents really need an extra set of hands in the house. They also use it maybe to just go out and shop, just to put their feet up, just to get out of the house. And the respite providers are trained through Rcal, as they are through all Opwdd agencies. And the service is very much needed. We need to support caregivers, and respite is a great way to do it.
That sounds like an awesome program, Brenda.
It really is.
However, it kind of sounds like babysitting to me. What's the difference between respite and your local teenage sitter down the street?
The difference is that your respite provider would be very well trained. CPR, positive behavioral communications. We have a praise training that we do that stands for promoting relationships and implementing safe environments. Your first order of business is to keep the individual safe, and your next order of business is to be a positive role model for the individual. Respite is not a goal-oriented service. However, you could set up some goals. Providers who are really creative often come into the kitchen and see the child just throw a cereal bowl in the sink. Well, that could break. Let's do that over. Oh, you didn't use your napkin. Let's work on dining etiquette. Yes, it's not a documented service as far as the goal, but if you're a really good respite provider and you take our training seriously, you realize how positive these actions can be. You are a model.
That sounds awesome. I know a lot of parents who could use a break from caregiving for their son or daughter or loved one who has special needs. However, I've heard that sometimes you can do respite in a group. Is that available in New York State?
It is available in New York State. However, COVID has kind of put a halt to it.
COVID has been a real bummer for a lot of services.
It really has. So we have seen all just one-on-one. And the parents who have a trusted member of our staff in their home, they kind of are sticking with that member and they're keeping them there. I don't blame them. And all of the staff's hours are going to one person. So we have a lot of respite providers who just work with one person, and that way they're not cross-contaminating during COVID.
Sounds like you've done a really good job of keeping people safe while still giving parents the break that they need. I know we talked about this before, but has staffing shortages impact people's ability to access the respite services that they may need?
Staffing shortages is our biggest issues here right now. What we have done, we do have a waiting list and people have been patient. But what we have done is really tried to have families reach out and find a family member, a friend, a neighbor, someone they trust, a local college girl. College girls have been very effective in this area. Sorry, right now we only have female college staff.
Okay.
And if you can find your own provider, we're willing to train them and certify them. And the family selected members have gone a long way to giving caregivers a break.
So that's great news. So if someone I know has a loved one or a grandparent who wants to provide some respite, they would get trained and paid?
They would, as long as they don't live in the same residence.
Good to know.
Yeah, they have to be in separate residences so that you kind of break from when you're working and not working. There's no gray area.
This sounds like an awesome, much needed service. So, Brenda, do you think we could give some people some information about how to access this service?
Yes, after this, we will have a slide that explains where you can go to apply for respite, the best ways to designate some family selected members, and or getting on our waiting list, which I know is lengthy, but we will put up a slide with all of that.
That sounds great. Just as a side note, if I have my own person who I think would be a great respite provider, can I cut the line for my own child?
Yes. Once you bring in your own staff, we start to interview and train them right away. So that does prevent you from being on the lengthy waiting list.
That's awesome news. All right. Thanks, Brenda.
Thank you, Hillary. Bye.
Okay.